Heard it? I don't know. Turn it over to you.
Here.
Here.
Good.
On to minutes. I've got the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we'll move on. Then I'll just hand it over to you for new business for FP 24-01.
Similar to the last time we met, this is a subdivision plat, just to kind of give you a, I apologize, the last time we looked at one of these, we did the zoning first and then the plat. You'll have to forgive me because you have to remember I used to be with the city as well, and the city used to have, in their residential districts, they had to consider the zoning first because there were multiple uses that could be in that district before they rezone it. But in the county, the only use that for a residential district is a residence. So I had kind of a flashback, and so I apologize. So we're going to do the final plat review first, and then the rezoning. And this will be a final plat for Thurlow Estates, a short form plat as before, and the area of the subdivision is approximately 18.8 acres, composed of 4 lots, approximately 4 acres each. The property description is a portion of the northeast quarter of section 15, county 11, south, range 4 east of the 6th principal meridian, generally located at the southwest corner of the intersection of Union Road and 3500 Avenue. The owner and applicant is Justin Thurlow. I should say the applicant is actually Caw Valley, representing Justin, this would be Patrick Sieber. The existing zoning is Ag 40. The proposed zoning, when you consider the zoning portion, is going to be suburban residential. The comprehensive plan shows this area as designated, an area designated as development potential. And it's surrounded on all 4 sides by Ag 40. We have a Geary County Fire District just to the north, just adjacent to this parcel. And residential and cropland on the other 3 directions. This request is because there is less than 5 lots proposed and no new public infrastructure anticipated, the commission will review this proposal as a short form final plat as provided in the subdivision regulations, meaning no preliminary plat review is required. The development will be served by private well and septic and will comply with other requirements of the environmental code. No floodplain is associated with this proposed development. It is determined that the previous county engineer that the subdivision proposals of less than 6 lots would not produce a significant traffic impact. Therefore, no traffic study is recommended at this time. All lots meet the minimum 3 acres and also frontage requirements for the suburban residential zoning district for which it's being zoned. All easements have been included for each lot. Comments from other agencies. The Road and Bridge Department is the one that would supervise any or require any of the permitting for driveways. And so I've already heard from them, and the superintendent has said he has no issues with putting 4 driveways on Union Road. I've gotten that already on the email. So environmental services, again, no issues with the septic placement since all lots are over 3 acres. Public comments, staff just received general inquiries, non-specific concerns about the proposal, from, and these are from people in Geary County because my notification went over to Geary County as well. Staff is recommending approval of the final plat of Thurlow Estates on the condition that all county building permits, driveway permits, and environmental permits are applied for each lot. The other thing I wanted to kind of add to this is, since I've sent this out, for those of you who may, I know none of you were here in the early 90s, but there was a replat of Curtis Creek Resort, which is in the vicinity of this proposed area. And as I was doing my research, the plat on that particular plat says, there's wording that states that all residences shall be on public water and public sewer. Well, that got this was in the early 90s, so I wanted to make sure none of this applied to today. So I called the state. And the state said they don't know why that was even put in there, but they said that if you want to, you can check with had me check with Rural Water District number 2 in Geary County. And so I left an email with their superintendent there to see in their Public Works Department earlier this week. I haven't heard back from them yet, just to find out if their jurisdiction covers and if this proposal would require them to meet up, hook up to their public water. And based on what the applicant was telling me, is that the water line is pretty far from this particular development.
On the other side, I guess.
So with that though, your option would be to either recommend approval of Thurlow Estates subdivision, recommend denial of the final plat, or table the request for further information.
All right, open it up for questions from Commissioner.
I also, it's kind of an update because Caw Valley is doing this, and they sent me, I went over some of the details for our requirements for the plat. You guys don't have it on yours that I sent out. It does show utility easements going through here as required under our subdivision regulations for the front and also the side yards. So
Where's the easement at?
it's going to be along the front.
So that's the dotted line here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they had the side.
Okay.
What utility is that? Is that electric?
It's gas or it's mostly gas or electric.
Did I read where across the road to the east, there's also, it looks like you got houses to the east?
Yeah, there's a development there, Laurel Canyon or something like that.
And those houses are all on septic and well?
No, I believe those are water district water, I think. But that's my understanding of this, I think, because it corresponds with where the jurisdiction of Rural Water District number 2 is in Geary County, but it doesn't come over here. So my main concern was I want to make sure that their jurisdiction doesn't come over here to where he's going to be required to hook anything up, and that's why I sent the letter.
I guess in my part of the county, I'm always concerned if you're looking at dropping 4 wells that close together, is the water table good? What's the well situation in that area?
I don't think that there's been no issues that have come up. I know environmental services, they'll usually tell me if there's any kind of issue with the water table or anything, so nothing has come up from them. It's that they have no issue with the wells. I asked them, I said, is the wells a problem? And they said no.
Are the houses to the east, do they have wells as well?
In the Curtis Creek Resort, they're on Water District, but to add to that, to the west of that property and to the south, I sold 2 pieces off, and those guys drilled 2 wells and had no problem hitting about 150 feet.
I forgot about that too. Yeah, 'cause they,
Question?
you guys can.
If we want to hear any. Are you, Justin?
Yes, I'm good.
Assuming, I'm just making a lead of. If you want to approach the podium there and state your name and address for us,
Okay,
let us know a little bit about it.
Okay, well, I'm Justin Thurlow. My address is 2113 Second Road, Wakefield. Yeah, I'm here today to actually answer any questions you guys might actually have on the property. Like I mentioned to Kelly over here, to the west and to the south, I sold 2 pieces off for housing, just for individuals. They didn't have problems hitting wells. They all got their own electrical tied in and all are on propane gas. As far as this, originally purchased this property, we knew exactly what we wanted to do with it. And Curtis Creek, in my opinion, kind of has one direction to go, and that's across the road into Dickinson County on my piece. So we knew we wanted to, originally we wanted to put in like a campground, maybe put in some storage units, things like that. And honestly, being a farmer, I'm just too busy. So we decided this was the best route to go with that. We originally talked about putting in a driveway and a roundabout and kind of triangling off the roundabout, but this seemed like the most economical and user-friendly setup that we can design. And Call Bailey helped me out as far as what they recommended. That the electrical telephone poles or electrical poles are on my side of the highway, so they have pretty easy access to electrical there. Water, they're gonna have to probably be on wells, more than likely. The fire station, when I had that, I donated the piece of property to the fire station. Just because they were looking for a place and there was nobody on the other side that would actually donate it to them without selling. So I offered it to them and they've been really great and built a really nice fire station right there on the corner of the piece. And just kind of just adds a nice benefit to whoever's living in that area. Because the old station, Miss Floberg here, she lives right across the street from this property. And the old station was getting very obsolete. They needed a place to go. And being on the volunteer fire department myself, I was very enthused about this. So, yeah, beautiful facility. What is to the west, there is going to be about 15 acres left there, and this is just kind of a valley, and it horseshoes around wildlife and parks, and it's just kind of covered in trees. And then right next to that is one of the pieces that I sold. That valley will potentially be up for sale someday for somebody to put a house in, something like that. There's no potential there to be beyond residential. So we are looking at that in the future. There's potential there if this goes through and everything else. That'll be just kind of a couple years down the road. So we are looking to add more houses. We could have kind of did what they did across the street at Curtis Creek and just packed things in there as far as houses kind of on top of each other, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to keep it as a clean, classy establishment, and not an eyesore to, well, the community across the street. Any questions or anything so far?
Try a lunch today. Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. So, to open up for public comment, were you wishing to address that?
No comment. I just here to see what all it's about.
All right, well then I guess we'll need to open it up for public comment, seeing there's no one else here who wishes to address us. All right, does anybody have anything you want to move forward with?
So the road and bridge, you've got an email in hand that covers the four separate entrances on Union Road, they're good.
Yeah, Martin told me, he says that they won't have any problems. They're also very high and dry up there. I mean, they're on a hill, if you look at the contours, they're way up there, so.
And that would be following the whole rule of being separated, right?
Yeah.
Enough space.
Yeah, there's enough frontage. And 4 acres get some room for their septic and their well, so.
I always try to push, the minimum is 3 acres. I always try to push more than 3 because there's always that chance you run into that, some part, I don't know what it's like here, but when I was at western Kansas, it was, catch-22 as to what kind of soil you were gonna get. And so, usually sometimes you put a septic in there on a 2 acre lot or something and you'd go bad after about 5 years because the soil was not very good and it wouldn't have enough room to put a new one on, so it's just, so it's, I always try to encourage more than 3 acres.
We've addressed the utilities, the easement, the entries, kind of down the line there.
For the record, I also contacted, I carbon copied when I sent notice out, I informed the school district, also the fire district and the water district as well, so nobody's gotten in touch.
Well, entertain a motion of any sort from the commission.
I move to recommend approval of Thurlow Estates subdivision. If I said that right.
As presented, or as presented with staff recommendation?
Yeah.
Motion to approve with staff recommendations, do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Move forward then to the zoning.
And this is the zoning of that parcel that will be basically just that 18.8 acres of the 32.4 current parcel that will be rezoned suburban residential. Basically, those 4 lots will meet basically the zoning request is suburban residential would be consistent with the county comprehensive plan, which indicates this area is suitable for development due to its proximity to potential public infrastructure. Suburban residential zoning requires access to or feasible extension of public or rural water to serve any development on the parcel or otherwise proof of adequate water and sewer disposal satisfaction of the county, which they've already gone through environmental services on both of those. Comments from other agencies. Environmental Services indicated there would be no issue with the placement of septic well on these lots. Road and Bridge has indicated that there would be no issue with driveway or culvert placement along Union Road for the 4 lots. Staff really didn't receive any comments worth noting from the public. Under the zoning criteria, you have the zoning criteria I kind of break down for you. Whether the change in classification would be consistent with the intent and purpose of these regulations. The change in classification would be consistent with the intent of the managed growth section as outlined in the regulations. Item B, the character and condition of the surrounding neighborhood is ag with residential subdivision located to the east in Erie County. The density of the proposed use would be consistent with other similar residential zoning requests approved in the past and those developments currently within the vicinity of this area. Item C, the request is not being made because of any changing conditions in the area affected. However, due to the proximity of Milford Lake, this area is becoming more popular for developers in our area. Item D, all nearby properties are either ag or residential uses. This change in zoning would have no detrimental impact on the land uses nearby due to the proposed lower density development. Item E, permitted uses of residential structures along the corresponding accessory use, along with those corresponding accessory uses would be consistent with the surrounding area. Item F, this parcel is currently suitable for low density residential uses based on soil conditions and topography. The area requested for the zoning change is on high ground, indicated as zone X on our flood insurance rate map. The land has not been vacant by these standards, by the standards, since it has been used as pasture and farmland, in other words. Ag land is considered not vacant. Item H, electric and gas are available within the area. This is served by a well and septic, and no public water is within the vicinity at this time. Under I, there are currently no vacant parcels with a suburban residential zoning designation within the immediate area. Item J, my recommendation I've already given to you below. Item K, currently the plan shows this area suitable for development due to its proximity to Union Road and 3500 Avenue right-of-way. Parcels within 200 feet of a public road right-of-way are deemed suitable for development. Therefore, a proposed subdivision at this location may allow for extension and improvement of public infrastructure, thus increasing the potential tax base. These factors would enhance the implementation of the comprehensive plan. Item L, safety concerns, which typically are made for residential subdivisions by the public, are usually related to traffic and visibility issues. Other concerns are related to aesthetic conditions affecting views from specific locations, which Dickinson County currently has no provisions for preserving what they call view sheds. Road and Bridge Department has indicated there would be no issue with the placement of driveways on the proposed lots, and visibility was not indicated as a concern from Road and Bridge. Item M, as stated earlier, the area around Milford Lake is becoming more popular with developers due to recreational opportunities within proximity to the lake. Staff is recommending approval of the rezoning of the parcel to suburban residential. The land is both suitable and desirable for development. The developer wishes to provide a rural living environment consistent with the character of the surrounding area. And the alternatives would be to recommend approval to the governing body, recommend denial or table the request for additional information. We had another gentleman from the public.
Okay. Welcome. Anybody have any additional questions?
Just a point of, this is not at the northwest corner of Rain Road and 2400 Avenue. That's what the background starts.
Oh, the background.
I think
Okay, I
that's
got that mixed up. Okay.
not a problem, I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
So that we are all aware,
So,
it
yeah,
matches
yeah.
Yeah,
the
it matches the other
description
one, yeah.
from the previous,
Okay.
okay. How do you? Okay. Alright. Are there any questions from the commission?
I don't think I have any, we've already discussed most of what I was gonna add.
Yeah. That we have. Well,
Just, you may want to open up again for the. Okay.
and then I will. If you have any comments from the public at this time, I'll open it up. For any public that wants to address the commission? No? Okay, then I won't read that, we're good. All right, I will entertain a motion from the commission.
Move, we accept or pass the Z 24-01 change in zoning with staff comments and recommendations.
I'll second.
All right. I have a motion and a second to change from agricultural to residential for Z 24-01. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
There were no opposed. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
And just to let you know, Justin, this will go to the county commission on Thursday, the 29th, at their regular meeting at 10:30 online. Or actually, they probably want you there at 9:30, that's why I do my presentation. But that's, there shouldn't be any issues. Good.
All right.
And, no old business, and as far as the updates that I have, I know we've tentatively scheduled a March 21st meeting, but there's been no applications submitted yet. What I would like to do, and I want to entertain this just for you all, since there's no application, I was planning on having a, April is when we do our reorganization. And that's when I'll probably do my training with you as well. And do you want me to go ahead and, since we've got 2 new members, on board, would you want me to go ahead and have a March meeting and go over not just for their sake, for the new members' sake, but also kind of remind everybody about what's coming up with the wind farm situation and how we'll probably discuss how we'll handle that and just kind of remind everybody of because they're not really anticipating and submitting anything until probably the end of March. And without it, and we're probably not gonna have a public hearing. I've already told them probably not until June or July. And the reason I say that is because we have some other things that we're trying to do trying to get in contact with the different townships and the fire districts and everybody else on getting them kind of informed as to what's going on before we actually take it to the public. So with that, would you want to schedule something for the March 21st meeting, just to kind of discuss this stuff and just kind of go over different things that you might want in training?
It's already on my calendar.
It won't be a very long meeting, but I said it's gonna be, what I would like to do is just get some stuff printed up for you, and just to kind of remind everybody, refresh everybody's That's all I've got.
Alright, have a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Good
luck.
luck, yeah.
Who let you go there? Who let you go down there? Except that one.
Oh, basically, it's not. You know, yeah, that's the best time. Yeah. That's going on tomorrow.
I put it right here. Yep. I knew that's probably what you were wanting.
Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
If that works, it'd be great.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
take advantage of it.
You bet, yeah.
So, full champ out already? Nice.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Oh, really?
In January, we had this meeting, I got the email the week, like we do a week before, and I flew the message the next Thursday, instead of my mom and dad's house, it's like, we're having our zoning committee meeting.
That makes sense. I've always wondered that, because I do.
So really, when you're paying for both,
Yeah,
I guess it.
the labor and it all.
well, I mean, you're paying for half of the others, because they had the same company probably had them both made up, I'm thinking.
For some reason.
Oh, we gotta have some stock in that.
The Curtis Creek was there, was because it's so close
I
to
see
that
the pretty
Yeah,
nice
it's
that
a
we go there, but yeah.
tributary.
Fun.
On the
New
bottom,
era or
it has to be
something like that.
licensed, so.
Yeah.
It's funny that we were looking at this other plat, I was like,
There you go, anyway.
And,
somebody never followed up with.
I had the one from
yeah.
last year, of course.
Trying to double check everything.
Big.
Gotta fit in, man. Up at the times.
I'll tell you what, it's too bad about what happened,
I know.
but you know, that's the society we live in, unfortunately.
My son kept telling people that we were gonna go to that, and I was like, we never told you we were going back.
Well,
And then that all happened, right, like. Yep.
I guess when you're ready.
yeah.
We just don't like being in front of us.
Well, and in a large crowd like that, you never know.
You betcha.
I said, I don't want anything to happen, I said, I didn't think we could pull that off without some incident,
Something
you know?
happening.
Yeah, too bad, really is.
Yep. All right, well, you guys have a good evening.
Okay.
See ya.
Gonna get going.